Question is to the Prime Minister. How will Labor's tax cuts help Australians under pressure, and what is standing in the way of delivering cost of living relief to Australians?
Call to the Prime Minister.
I thank the member for Hassop for her question. I look forward to being back in Western Australia again next week, when we will have the third cabinet meeting that we have had in Western Australia since we came to office, following on the last successful meeting that we had in Port Hedland in regional Western Australia. Well, on the 1st of July this year, every Australian taxpayer will get a tax cut under Labor's cost of living tax cuts. All 13.6 million of them, not just some, because we understand that we want to leave nobody behind. But we also want to make sure that people can aspire, which is why we have tax cuts right throughout each of the income tax thresholds all the way through. And I must say that it's been well received out there. That is why we made this decision, because of cost of living pressures, particularly amongst low and middle income Australians. And these tax cuts are aimed squarely at middle Australia, squarely at those people who go to work hard to make a difference for themselves and their family, and deserve a reward. Mr. Speaker, we want Australians to earn more and to keep more of what they earn. Those opposite want people to work for longer for less. They want them on call 24 hours a day. They oppose every wage increase, and we know that they didn't want to pass on the Labor's tax cuts. They reluctantly have now said they're supporting it whilst they argue against it consistently all the way through. These things are so bad that they're going to vote for it. Well, we on this side of the chamber do not want Australians to work longer for less. What we want them to do is to earn more, which is why we've put in place measures such as the increase in the minimum wage, the support for aged care workers, the industrial relations legislation, and why we are putting in place Labor's cost of living tax cuts. And indeed, it's not just the beneficiaries who say that. Someone in my electorate, Fuak from Croydon Park, wrote to me and said, "I think most Australians will see that what your government has done is to make the whole tax changes fairer and much more economically realistic." Peter Dutton will rant and rave and be as negative as possible.
Order.
You got that right. But this was the right decision. This is the right decision. Those opposite oppose higher wages. They vote against help with your power bill. They vote against cheaper medicines, vote against affordable housing, vote against penalty rates, of course. Now they want you to be available 24 hours